Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I'm Batman. That's my best impression I've ever done on the show.
That was good. That was really good. I'm impressed. I'm scared and excited.
Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. I have a riddle for you. I know the Riddler isn't in this.
That's fine.
But I have a riddle. Ready?
Give it to me.
What is more wooden? The staircase at Wayne Manor or Jerry Hall's acting? Hi-yo!
Hey-oh! You burnt Jerry Hall. We are dorking out about 1989's Batman. It's directed by Tim Burton. This is the one that started them all. Jack Nicholson as the Joker, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, Robert Wall, Billy D. Williams is in there. Jack Palance.
Yep.
Before City Slickers, before his Oscar, I really dig Jack Nicholson's impression of Jack Palance in this movie. It made me laugh. And the already mentioned Jerry Hall.
Bless her heart.
You said I could watch you improve the paintings. Even with a mask on. It's like nothing.
What will happen if he finds out about us?
Although I do love the part where she says, "You look fine," and he goes, "I didn't ask."
I didn't ask.
I love that. I love that part. Did you see this movie in the theater?
You're goddamn right, I did.
Yeah, same. Did you see
That's
it?
my Nicholson.
Did you see it at the Crow Canyon?
I'm sure I saw it at the Crow Canyon cinemas. This movie, it's June of 1989. Yeah. I remember I was a teen.
Yep.
And everybody was talking about it. It was going to be the first serious cartoon movie since like Superman.
Right.
And Michael Keaton being cast was a big fucking deal. All the nerds were very, very upset about it. It's hard to state that in serious terms. It's like that trended on Twitter for like a year.
Yes.
Like Michael Keaton being cast, like, it's Mr. Mom.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was not known for anything other than comedies, really, at this point. He had done a drama. I think it was called Clean and Sober. It played at my theater. It's a fucking bummer. It's one of those drug addict movies. Adam Risky, friend of the show, loves those movies.
Yeah.
That's a total Adam Risky movie. Yeah, Michael Keaton was not known for serious parts.
Except
and
in my dreams, he was known, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, comic book movies were not a thing. So, like, now they come out every 3 months. At the time, I don't think we'd had one since, like, Superman, and that was
in the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, the first Superman was like late 70s, maybe Superman 2 right after, and then after that it's diminishing returns, right? You get Superman 3, you get Superman 4. Nobody's really seeing those anymore. That rhymed.
No.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Like, it's
his Prince on Your Brain.
Prince Bat Dance. And I worked at the movie theater that was showing Batman. I remember when the trailer came out for Batman, and a bunch of the men, and mainly men who worked at the movie theater, lost their fucking minds for Batman. Like, they were huge fans. They couldn't wait. I remember they watched the trailer over and over. Like, they were just analyzing every little thing that they could find out about the movie. They were totally bummed about Michael Keaton being cast. And this movie was insanely busy at my theater. We had a 5-screen theater. I think 3 of them were showing Batman, and people were lined up all fucking day and night.
You didn't even order over the phone. You had to go in person. Yeah. It was that was the thing. And so and it's these summer movies. You're out in the heat, standing in the concrete with a bunch of other nerds, but you're excited to do it. It was a whole event.
Yes.
Like, everything about this movie, they wrote about this movie for like 2 years.
Yes.
It felt like it took forever for the movie to come out.
There was merchandise everywhere. Every like fast food restaurant had a tie-in, you know, go get a Happy Meal and get a Batman cup, or maybe it was Burger King. I don't remember. You could not buy tickets ahead of time. That was not a thing.
Nope.
You could not reserve seats. That was not a thing. So people, I mean, there were people lined up the night before Batman opened to see Batman. And I mean, we probably hadn't seen that since a Star Wars movie.
I was just going to say only the Star Wars movies, I think. Maybe The Matrix 2 was like, but that's not even close. I mean, it was an event. Everybody went to see it. And then it was a big deal because people were like, is this too adult for kids? Because it wasn't a kid's movie.
Correct.
And I think I sent you that clip. I think it was a Jenny Jones kind of show where there were kids reviewing movies, and one kid's like, "I think this movie's too violent for kids." Because how many times have you seen it? Twice.
Yes. It is pretty violent. What's funny is I told my 10-year-old, I was like, you could totally watch this with me. And he was like, no, thanks. And then as I watched it, I was like, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. It's intense. It's very intense. I have to say, I haven't seen this movie in a very long time. It's streaming on HBO Max. I know you were the pusher for this.
I was.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I did fall asleep at one point. It's just because it's a rainy afternoon. It's Saturday.
Yes.
I'm cozy on my couch. But I have to say, I'm renewed in my enthusiasm for Jack Nicholson. He is having the time of his fucking life.
For sure. There is a reason that Jack Nicholson is the top billed actor in this movie. Like, Michael Keaton is literally playing Batman. The name of the movie is
Right.
Batman, and the top billed actor is Jack Nicholson. This movie is for sure like Jack Nicholson's movie, and he's fucking playing himself. He's just playing himself. Yeah. I'm like, I 100% believe Jack Nicholson as Jack Napier pre-Joker, and I 100% believe him as the Joker. I'm like, he's just playing himself. That's what I believe.
He's my favorite Joker.
For sure.
That's saying something, because I love the Heath Ledger version, but I think this is my favorite Joker origin story.
Yes.
Because some of them are really messed up, like really messed up.
Yes.
The Killing Joke and stuff like that. But this one, I do enjoy it. He made $60 million for this movie, and I'm like, he earned every goddamn penny.
He was a real smarty. He took a percentage of gross on this movie, and it made a shit ton of money. So I looked it up. It was made for $48 million. It made over $400 million, which is a ton of money for that time. A ton of money. I mean, it was still only this. It was the second highest grossing movie of the year, and I was like, really? It was number 2, and number 1 was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So,
well, yeah. I mean, Indiana Jones, you can't.
That was a very popular movie too, and quite enjoyable.
Very enjoyable. It's a movie. Everybody I knew saw it. Everybody had an opinion. Everybody enjoyed it, but everybody got something different out of it. But thank God Michael Keaton was good in it, because that poor guy would never have worked again.
I know. Both of them took a really big risk doing this, because like we said, comic book movies were not a thing. This was a movie that is taking something that a lot of people were like, comic books are for kids. Right. I mean, or
incels.
Yeah, or incels. And the thing is, like, a lot of comic books are for all ages. Like, you appreciate them on the level you are, I guess, is, some of them are definitely more dark and fucked up than others, but like, they took a real chance. And like Tim Burton, I think at this point had made Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which, once again, I've said it before, perfect comedy.
We have that on our list. We definitely will cover it one day.
It is a perfect comedy. I will not take any Pee-wee slander. Thank you very much. And then after this was Edward Scissorhands. Oh, he had done Beetlejuice. Yes. So.
And I loved Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice.
Oh my God, so good.
I love that movie. Such a good movie.
Such a good movie. And it's just, once again, coming off of Beetlejuice and then going to do Batman, it was tricky. Like, our image of Batman at that point was Adam West. Was silly, goofy, spoofy, ridiculous Batman. And this one was darker. Like, and here's the thing, it's not even as dark as what we will eventually get from Batman, but this was darker than, this ain't your mama's Batman. Like, this wasn't
Cesar Romero. Remember when Cesar Romero is the Joker?
He wouldn't even fucking shave off his mustache for the part. They painted over his mustache. He was like, I don't take this part remotely seriously. I will not even shave my mustache for this part.
And I'm not shitting on Batman. I loved it.
Same.
They played in reruns when I was a kid. And I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
And I think he's a very sexy Batman. I think it totally works for what it is.
Yes.
And especially for the time that it was created.
Absolutely.
I think this one, I think from the first scene when there's a crime happening and you kind of see from the right corner like a bat outline figure, and then it comes in and it's going to go take care of the bad guys. I was like, ooh, I remember seeing this in the movie theater, like, oh, this is going to be good. Like, they're really upping. Go. The special effects.
Yes.
Very good for the time. You know, we're
a lot of practical. A lot of practical effects, yes.
The fashions are a bit...
Sure.
The double-breasted suits everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting mix of, like, modern, but also, like, old-timey gangster look.
They kind of mix that. Yeah, like 40s and 80s. They're kind of mixing. Oh, Kim Basinger. She's not adorable. She's just fucking hot. She is so beautiful.
She is gorgeous.
This is peak Basinger.
Yeah, she is gorgeous in this movie. I'm like, if you're like, why would the Joker be so, and why are Batman like so obsessed with her? Because she's fucking beautiful. Like,
she's super hot.
Yeah.
She's funny. She's smart. She has a great scream.
Yeah.
She's a go along girl. Like, she'll go. Oh God, her hair could be a character.
Seriously. Okay. I'm going to be real with y'all. This is my favorite Batman movie. Okay. Like, I know logically The Dark Knight is a better movie. I know this. Like, if you put them side by side and you're like, which one's the better movie? I'd be like, of course, The Dark Knight is the better movie. Which one would I watch? This one. This is the one I will watch because it's like the perfect level of dark for me. It's got like a little bit of comedy where it needs to have it. I think this is the movie that spends the most time developing Bruce Wayne, which we don't get in other movies. I feel like in later movies, it's more about who's going to wear the suit, who's going to be Batman, and they're mainly Batman. And I like that this movie leans on Bruce Wayne a little bit.
He's my favorite Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
I even like him better than Ben Affleck.
Same. I like, and I like, I'm like, people are going to be like, this is stupid, Sonia. I like his relationship with Vicki Vale. Like, I like that
it's hot.
They like each other. Like, and they develop that. They go on a date. They have a conversation. They had this really cute scene where they're having dinner in his giant dining room, and she's like yells across this huge table, "Can you pass the salt?" And he's like, "I've never even been in this room." And then they have dinner with Alfred, and she like gets to know him and he gets to know her. He asks her, like, what were your parents like? Like, just, it's so stupid. I realize this, but like, I like it.
No, they're developing their relationship, which is good. And I love that how she's introduced. It's a Time magazine cover, and it just says pics, Vicki Vale, like over a dead body.
Yeah, because who doesn't take pictures for Vogue, Cosmopolitan, and Time magazine?
And covers a war zone. And the credit is the center of the magazine. Like
I'm like, ooh, there's a huge war going on in this. With photos by Vicki Vale. I'll subscribe right now. Like, it's so ridiculous. I realize that, like, everything about this movie is pretty ridiculous, but I don't care because I don't watch a Batman movie for realism, which apparently makes me a minority compared to everyone else who is always like, oh, I need my Batman to be more realistic, which is what the new Batman movies are. And those just are not for me. And that's fine.
They're just not as people like them. I get that the Batman was a big deal this year.
Yeah.
I like that they called it the Batman. I think it sets itself apart that way. But as far as fun goes, this is much more fun.
I just can't. It's just too much. Like, and here's the thing: both you and I recently watched the new Batman movie, and that's why I got it in my head to do this one. I was like, this movie's just not for me. Like, and there are people who this is what they want. They want dark. They want Batman to be really dark and serious, and they want all this like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like background and like mythology and like all of that. They want all of that, and I'm like, I guess I don't really want that. Like, this kind of Batman is what I like. I
agree.
Good.
This is fine. This is great. It totally works. Let's get into the story.
Yeah.
The things I do like about it. I love the satire on the media.
Yeah.
That the Joker has this, he's messed up. He is in a chemical plant, and that's how he had his face all warped up, and it turned him into the person that he is. He died and come back to life as this.
Yes.
Okay. So the makeup and hairsprays and everything that people buy, they can't buy them because they could be dangerous. And so these newscasters look like hell on camera.
They're getting uglier and uglier as the days progress because they can't use beauty products.
Which I loved that. I thought that was really clever. I liked the way that the Joker is trying to get Vicki using the museum when he's dancing around the museum.
Yes.
The Prince music is used really well.
I think so too.
It's not my favorite Prince music. I know I'm on the outside of this. I'm just speaking my truth.
I don't think you are. I don't think anyone's like, Purple Rain, meh, but Bat Dance, yeah. Like, I think
it has its supporters. So
for sure,
trust me.
For sure.
It's not my favorite Prince. I like my Prince a little darker, but his material, I mean, but I think it works for this movie. And there's times when Nicholson is like dancing to the beat, like it works for the goofiness that he's doing. I love it when he meets Vicki and he imitates the bat. He goes, "What about that?"
Yeah. Guy? Oh my God. Where he's like, "What do you know about?"
It cracks me up.
He's having such a good time.
He's great. He's really, really good. And they do go into, you always have to go with Batman and with Joker. You got to go back to how his parents were killed. But this is the first time. It was a big deal to tell this story because they never told it. Did they even tell it on the TV show? I mean, it certainly wasn't done.
I think they just mention it, but I don't. Yeah. Like, his parents were murdered and that. But maybe they don't. I don't remember. But this was. And I don't think it's canon, if you will, that the Joker killed Bruce Wayne's parents. I think the movie went a different direction that totally upset like Batman purists. But I
thought the Joker did kill his parents.
Oh, I read that like that was not a thing until this movie.
Okay, I'm not an expert, obviously. So
neither am I. Man. I'm telling you, dude, I fucking read it on Wikipedia. That don't mean that shit is true. But in this movie, I like the idea that Batman and the Joker kind of made each other. Like,
yes, I do like that.
I think it's kind of cool. So I'm fine with that. But once again, not a purist when it comes to my Batman lore.
I could tell this is not something like Tim Burton thought he was going to make 2 or 3 of.
Correct.
Like this was, and so in this movie, for some reason, Vicki Vale is allowed to hang out backstage, in the Bat Suite. Nobody and he doesn't get mad at Albert. He's just Albert's like, "Come on, honey, I know you'll make him happy."
I have mixed feelings about that. Once again, I think of the dudes I worked with at the movie theater who were super upset that happened, by the way. Like, but by the way, back in the day when you worked at a movie theater, you probably were surrounded by people who super loved movies. It wasn't just a job. That's why they were there. They wanted to get free movies. So these nerds that I worked with were very upset that Alfred would do that Alfred would bring Vicki Vale and like reveal that Bruce Wayne is Batman, they were like, what a betrayal, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know. I also took it as Alfred is clearly the father figure here. And
he's older.
And he's older. Yeah.
And he cares about him, and he wants him to be happy, and he wants him to not be so lonely.
Yeah.
We also didn't know there'd be 50 other Batmans.
For sure. And I think that the character, I don't know, it felt in line with the character to me, but once again, not Batman purist here. So like it felt right to me. It was Alfred putting on like a parental hat and being like, I'm going to do the right thing for you, whether you like it or not. And is it the right thing? I don't know. Maybe it isn't. But I like that scene. I like that they have a discussion about it. She's not in the next movie, so I guess shit don't work out.
I mean, at the very end, she's a photographer. What is she doing with her life? She's going to just hang out at the cave?
Yeah, and it is kind of a bummer that she came to Gotham because she wanted to work on the story with the reporter Knox, played by Robert Wall. Remember when Robert Wall was going to be a thing?
Arliss.
Yeah, Arliss. He's in Bull Durham. He's real funny in Bull Durham.
He's always funny. I like him in this.
And I like him in this too. I think I like their conversations together. It's very like old movie rat-a-tat-tat kind of vibe to it that I really enjoy. I love when they're walking around in Wayne Manor and he's like, what is he? He says something like rich people can be weird. What does he? Damn it! Where does he say? Oh, you know why they're so odd? Because they can afford to be. That's what he says.
I like it when he's in front of the mirror, the giant mirror. He's like, Bruce Wayne. How about Bruce Vane? Hi-oh.
You burnt Bruce Wayne.
I really appreciate it. I thought he was good. He just brings the right amount of silliness and lightness to it. But he's into the Batman. He knows that Batman exists. He's trying to figure that out. They're going to get a Pulitzer Prize together by doing this in Gotham.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she kind of...
by Vicki Vale.
Picks by Vicki Vale. But she walks away from all of that to be with Bruce Wayne because she loves him. But
it's Michael Keaton, let's be clear.
No shit. I
would hang out in a cave.
I get it. I get it. I'll hang out with bats too. He's Michael Keaton. He's real. He's real cute. I get it.
He's adorable. Everybody drink.
Everybody drink. I'm drinking right now.
And I'm a homebody anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
What else? Let's see. So, the Joker, he gets a picture of Vicki Vale, and I love it. He's like, she's about to trade up. And I was like, I tweeted it out. I was like, here's my new mantra. God grant me the confidence of Jack Nicholson playing the Joker in this movie. Like, he is all fucking in. Just everything he says in this movie, she's about to trade up. And like, just all of his rhymes and everything. It's just, he's so fucking good. And there's like the whole thing with the museum is pretty scary. Like, he sends her the mask and tells her to put this on and they gas the whole place. I'm like, are all those people dead? I don't know. And they go around destroying paintings.
It's funny also that you can see everything. Yeah. Because Batman movies, I mean, up until The Batman, especially The Batman that just came out.
Yeah.
I fell asleep watching that one. But it was so fucking dark.
Batman movies are like a sedative to you.
They are. They're so dark. Like I close my eyes, like try to get a better look, and I just fall asleep.
Yeah. And then he's like doing this whole thing. He's like destroying all the paintings, and he's trying to like woo Vicki Vale, and she's, just like, ew, you're crazy or whatever. And then Batman comes in, and like I know like Vicki Vale's sole job in this movie seems to be rescued by Batman. I'm fine with it. She's really good at it, and he's really good at
great scream.
She has a great scream, and there's this total movie moment. Like Batman like breaks down through the glass ceiling and like picks her up and like flies out with her, and and then they're running together in this, once again, little stupid thing that I noticed. Like she kicks her heels off to like run with Batman. And I realize this is probably dumb, but I like a little touch like that. That's what a person would do.
Yeah.
Women in these movies all the time run in their heels, and I'm like, women don't do that. We kick that shit off and fucking jam. Like
we use them as weapons with the really high heels.
That's right.
Hi-yo.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And then, he's like attaches like this belt thing to her, and he asks her like how much she weighs, and she says, I don't about 108, I think. And I was like, oh my God, it's such a woman thing to do, to be like, I wouldn't round up or round down. It's like exactly 108, I think. It's like, you don't think, you know it's 108 because she weighs herself every day. And then he, of course, says, you weigh more than 108. And I was like, don't shame her, Batman.
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah, she's beautiful. You shut up, Batman. And then he takes her to his bat cave. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
And tells her about all the chemical stuff. And we're like, yeah, make out.
Yeah, make out, and they do. I love their make out scene. I love that she's drunk, but do they actually have sex with each other, or they just sleep together?
I think they're together.
Okay. But so they do get together. They consummate their love.
Mm-hmm.
But she leaves the next day. She's going to do her own thing. He's going to save the world. So it's the 200th anniversary celebration of the city.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. And we have Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
As
playing Harvey Dent.
Right. Who's two-faced in the other movies.
Yeah. So
he becomes a villain.
Yeah. I read that Tim Burton cast Billy D. Williams because he did want to make another movie with Harvey Dent as one of the villains. And the idea is that Harvey Dent would be two-faced. He'd be black and white. And I was like, that's super interesting. I'm like, I would have.
Isn't that in Star Trek?
Is it? I totally don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
Shit, I'm going to find that episode because I would have liked to have seen the Billy D. Williams performance as Two-Face. I would have been into it.
We still need that performance. He could still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. Love him. He's so good.
He is so good. Just, oh my God.
Let me do Baby Boom when I'm done with this. Hi-yo.
Which Batman is your favorite? Which Batman movie is your favorite?
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
I know.
It's so good.
I'm basic. But
No,
it's
that's
so
not
good.
basic. It's super good.
I really love that movie. I know it's too long. I know all the things that are what doesn't work about it, but I find more of it works for me than doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I like the mood of it. I love the Chicago-ness of it.
It's super good. I'm not
It's
shitting
a great
on
movie.
it.
Yeah, but I think but this one was super fun to watch.
Yeah. I know that everyone has. It's kind of like James Bond, everyone.
Who's your favorite Bond? Yep.
Yeah. Everyone has their favorite type of Batman. Once again, friend of the show, Adam Risky, Batman Forever is like his favorite. And I'm like, I get it. It's super enjoyable.
Yeah.
What's not to
favorite?
like? This one.
Yeah.
But I love The Dark Knight as well. But that's a totally different mood.
What did you think of The Joker? Did you ever see it?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's a stone cold bummer, and I don't recommend.
Yeah, I do love that. It used to be like these movies are for fucking nerds, right? Look at these nerds lining up for Batman. And now playing Batman or playing the Joker is the equivalent of Hamlet.
Or it's Oscar bait.
Yeah, they're stepping all over each other to prove that they can play the Joker. They all want to play the Joker or Batman. It's kind of ridiculous. No, I didn't see that Joker movie. Did I? What was the other one? No, I've seen the Suicide Squad movies and the Jared Leto Batman shows up, or the Jared Leto Joker shows up in those, and I'm like, ew. But I'm more of a Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
a lot. I've seen the animated show a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert, so nerds don't come for me.
Yes,
we talk about all kinds of movies here. I like Mark Hamill too.
Yes, he's a really good Joker.
I mean, I think there's a special about the Joker on HBO Max. I was just watching it when you called me.
I will watch that. That would be cool.
Because I can understand why people. It is an iconic character.
For sure.
He's a total asshole. He's a psycho, but he's funny and he's twisted and he doesn't have a conscience and nobody really knows what his name is. Nobody really knows where he's from or what his story is. I ignore the Joker movie. I prefer I think in The Killing Joke he was a stand-up comic and failed at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was nothing about the Joker that made me want to see it, and the rhetoric around the movie just really kept me at arm's length. And I was like, I think I'll just hard pass. I mean, I might see it eventually, but I'm not in a rush, clearly, because I haven't bothered.
Okay, so let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
Because the parade and everything else in this movie, like at the last 30 minutes of this movie are just a wash for me. I mean, yes, I fell asleep, but
for sure, this is the last 30 minutes is where I'm like, okay, this movie is too long. It's because I think it's over a little. I think it's over 2 hours. Hold on,
2 hours 6 minutes.
Yeah,
they could chop off 30 easily, and then do
90 minutes.
It would be a perfect movie.
Yes,
but I get it. I say that about everything, but we haven't talked about yet. Too much anyway, is you sent me a clip of Bat Dance, the 6-minute video. Oh my God, I
love that was a thing. That they were like, we're going to put out 2 soundtracks for Batman because it's fucking huge. We're going to put out the instrumental one that's the Danny Elfman score. Which is fucking dope. All of Danny Elfman's scores were so, like, he did Pee-wee, he did Batman, he did all of Tim Burton's movies for years, and they're all great. And
Jack Skellington.
And he put a CD out, and I think it was called like Music for a Darkened Theater, and it was all the different like themes and stuff. It was great. We used to have it at one of my theaters. But then there was a whole separate soundtrack that was like music inspired by Batman.
And it makes you want to think about music, doesn't it?
Totally. And it was all these Prince songs. And I'm going to open it up here so I can. So because there's some songs on here where it's like Scandalous. Like that's a song. Like you could hear Scandalous or Trust or Party Man on the radio. And you would be like, yeah, those are funky Prince songs.
Yeah.
Bat Dance. What the fuck?
Okay. This video. Oh my God. So the women, I guess they're women jokers.
I think
they're doing full on Cesar Romero.
Yes.
They're not doing Jack Nicholson.
Mm-mm.
And then did you ever listen to Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, R.I.P.?
No.
He had a story about Cesar Romero that he repeated almost every episode. And so, I don't know, not to blow your minds at all, but Cesar Romero was homosexual. He was gay.
What?
I know. Supposedly he had a fetish. We don't kink shame here.
Mm-mm.
But he liked young men throwing sliced oranges on their butts. Like that was something.
Hey man.
Hey, whatever makes you happy. Honest to God.
If you are 2 consenting adults,
go for it.
Fucking peel those oranges, man. Have a great time.
Have a great time. But then whenever I see Cesar Romero or somehow these women being Cesar Romero, I just think of orange peels and oranges thrown on little boys' butts and young men's butts. And I'm just like, oh my God. So yeah, they're doing Cesar Romero.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Prince with the guitar all in black.
Yes.
And then he's on the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does the half Joker, half Batman thing with the guitar. And he's dancing with everybody.
Yes.
And then they bring out these pseudo Vicki Vales.
Mm-hmm. Vicki Vale.
And they take clips from the movie and incorporate it into the song, which is never my favorite thing. But it's just...
Stop the press? Who's that? Vicki Vale.
Vicki Vale. And so he's full on like ready to hump these Vicki Vales that show up. Their dresses are very, very short.
Mm-hmm.
He's objectifying, which is what Prince used to do before he found Jesus. So that's what he was. This was fully sexualized Prince. This was him. And he was dating Kim Basinger.
Yes. Yes, he
Let's talk about
was.
that. So I don't know if they had oranges involved in it, but they definitely they had a song where they're moaning a lot. It's like Kim Basinger. They're like it's one of those like pseudo like, French love ballads where the couples are like, ooh la la, oh no no, and they're doing, what's their version of that?
Oh. You're
But I remember this. It was a thing. Like Prince, like this soundtrack, people did play it.
for sure.
Everybody liked it. The video is bananas.
Yeah,
please see it.
The video. So there's the women who are dressed as like the Joker. There's also all the Batmen are also women, and then there's all the Vicki Vales, and they're wearing like you said, really short dresses, like backless. But one of their dresses says like all of this and brains too, and I was like, that's not from the movie. It's super weird. And yeah, and there's like multiple princes running around. Like there's all kinds of dancing and fighting, and
I think
it is something. It is something.
I don't think the movie came out yet. Maybe they only saw, the TV version, so that's why they were going full Cesar Romero with it, which is sort of like goofy.
I don't know.
I'm not going to watch it again, but do watch it. I mean, it's definitely on YouTube. Find the video and see if you can find Gilbert Gottfried talking about Cesar Romero, because you will howl laughing because it's so silly.
I shared the Bat Dance video on all of our social media channels. So,
oh well, you're very good, aren't you?
I'm trying to be. I'm trying so hard to be better about that stuff. Because it is a ridiculous video. And I didn't realize it was 6 minutes long when I started it. And I was like, what the fuck?
You sent it to me. And after 2 minutes, like, is it still going? What's going on? You have to tap the screen to see how much more you have to go. I'm like,
I got it. Bad dance.
I got it.
Okay. You want to bust that body. All right. I get it.
I'm going to bust that body. He looks like he's going to beat the shit out of her.
Oh, my God. So this movie was also like maybe the only one that has one villain.
That's true. Because usually they have 2 or 3.
Yeah, which is one of my complaints about these other movies, where I'm just like, could we get just one? Like,
right.
We don't need Riddler and Two-Face. Like, they could probably have their own movie. Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy could definitely have her own movie. Justice for Uma Thurman in that movie.
Yeah, she was great in that.
She was wasted in that movie. That movie's not my fave, but some people love Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite.
It's not mine either. I'm just gonna ignore that one for now. But Justice for Uma Thurman. I don't know. I guess so. They don't wind up together, but at the end, he has the bat signal that they show everybody, and that's how they end the movie, is that him majestically on top of the building. It's a great ending. It's just, I'd say, like, there's a good 20 minutes here you could take out.
For sure.
It's very repetitive.
Yeah, and I think at the end they are together, but I think in the next movie they say something like, it was all too much for her, and she decided
to... And she realized, I'm really beautiful. So it snapped.
She's like, I think I could get Superman. I'm out.
I'm out.
Bye.
Gotham is just too dark and weird.
Yeah, I mean, and they had to clear Batman's calendar because they were going to introduce Selena Kyle in the second one, and they needed to play up that thing. So
he was dating Michelle Pfeiffer.
I read, so they were dating when he made this one. Were they still dating by Batman Returns?
No, she was like with Fisher Stevens or somebody like that.
That's a weird mix.
She's had a couple of comical. She was married to Gary from 30 something.
That's right.
That was her first husband.
Gary.
What's that from? Parenthood.
Gary. Hi, Gary. Don't talk to me, Mom. Hi, Gary. All right, we need to bump Parenthood up the list.
We really do.
This is like the second time it's come up this week. I did tweet out that I think Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman might be the best performance in all of the Batman movies.
It's certainly a memorable one. I don't know anybody who's... Yeah, I think her and Heath Ledger are
Yeah.
pretty much up there.
Yeah.
She has so much. It's another thing where she's having so much fun with it.
Yes.
Yeah, she gets it.
My problem with Batman Returns, a movie I was really excited to see.
Oh my God, did you ever feel more disappointment watching a movie? I think it was the Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's just because there was so much of Batman Returns that I liked, actually, but there was the Penguin stuff did not work for me.
No,
at all.
It really dragged the movie down.
Yeah.
Like there was those parts were not fun. Like they were not tongue in cheek.
No.
They weren't. No.
And it was gross and dark, and like it made me feel icky, and I was like, I hate it. But
yeah.
Once again, to each their own.
Yes, exactly. There's a Batman for everybody.
Exactly, Batman for all. Which one's your least favorite Batman?
Oh, the one with Mr. Freeze and all that dumb shit.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I how many times have I seen it? Many. It used to be on TV all the time. This is before we had Netflix and stuff. I would put it on. Guys, I do genuinely like George Clooney.
Yeah. I gave this a lot of thought because I wrote this question down to ask you. And my gut was like, of course it's Batman and Robin, because this is a movie I really, really hated when I saw it. And I was like, I'm going to sue Warner Brothers. I'm going to get the 2 hours of my life back that I wasted watching it, all this stuff. But the truth is, if you put Batman and Robin and The Dark Knight Rises right next to each other, I would watch Batman and Robin before I'd watch Dark Knight Rises.
I definitely would see that before The Batman.
Yeah. See, that's another one. It's not for me. I get it that people love the new Batman movie. That's fine. It's fine. It's just Dark Knight Rises, I actively hate it. Like
Which one is that
that's
one?
the one with Bane. And the whole time, first of all, the whole time I couldn't understand anything he was saying. I didn't understand. The only thing I liked about Dark Knight Rises was Anne Hathaway as her
I love Anne Hathaway in that movie. But you're right.
Once again, it sucks for her. Like she suffers by comparison. Like her Catwoman is not as good as Michelle Pfeiffer, but she's good in that movie. And I was surprised as anyone when I walk out going, Anne Hathaway was the best thing in that movie. And I just, once again, too dark for me.
Yeah, look, there's a Batman for everybody.
Yes.
There's one for everyone. Do you know what I remember about Batman and Robin?
What?
The thing I most remember about it, it's Howard Stern, he had Arnold Schwarzenegger call the show to promote the movie, and they're all excited. It's just before the movie hits theaters, right? So it's like a few days out. And Arnold's like, I got the movie theater for you and all the crew. Go see it. You're going to love it. And they were all excited. And so I was like, ooh, I can't wait to hear what this is going to be like. And the next day they come in and they bash the movie for like 2 hours. And one of those talks about, I just walked out of the theater and put cold water in my face. Like I've never done that before. But I had to do something. It's just because it's fine if it's on. I find it with TV and there's commercials and I'm folding laundry and I'm doing something else. It's not great, but I find it humorous. But like the first time in a movie theater, that's just like 20 minutes in, you're like, oh God, this is going to be a tough slog.
I mean, the truth is, I would rather watch any of those first Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. I would watch any of those before I would watch the Batman. I'm sorry, everybody. It's true. It's true.
A lot of people, I didn't either. Yeah, Colin Firth. I'll be talking about him in a minute. For the
Colin
staircase.
Farrell. Yeah,
Colin Farrell. Why do you get somebody as gorgeous as him? And then I don't. That's a
what a waste.
It's a waste.
It was a total waste. By the way, Colin Farrell might make a great Bruce Wayne. Like, just saying, he's real handsome.
Yeah, he is handsome.
But Michael Keaton is definitely the best one.
Oh, because he's so unexpected.
Yeah. And he's charming.
Deep dark there. Yeah, he's very charming.
He's very charming.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. We talked about our villains. There were a whole bunch of people that were considered for Batman. Let's see. Well, so at one point, Ivan Reitman was thinking about doing a Batman movie. Did you read this?
Yes, I saw that.
He wanted to get Bill Murray to play Batman, and Eddie Murphy was going to be Robin.
And Eddie Murphy's like, fuck that.
Eddie Murphy's like, peace out. Like, no, we're not doing that. This was way before like the script was even remotely finished, obviously. Apparently at one point Joe Dante was interested. Joe Dante probably would have done a good job. Wes Craven was considered at one point for directing.
Wes Craven would be interesting.
Yeah. And then people for Batman, of course, it's like the usual suspects, right? So it's like Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner. I'm like, none of these people would have been right. Charlie Sheen, no. Tom Selleck, no. Harrison Ford, he would have been too old at this point, I think.
He mumbles too much anyway. Yeah. Put a suit on him and you really can't hear anything he says.
And then these two were interesting to me. Willem Dafoe.
As Joker?
No, as Batman. I was like, really? Because I also was like, they meant Joker, right? But it says Batman. And I'm like, that's interesting. He would have made a good Joker.
Yeah, he would have.
And then the other one for Batman was Dennis Quaid. And he would have been a good Bruce Wayne. But would he be good in the suit? I don't know. He's got that smile. Know what?
See, I think the opposite. I never believe him when he's in a suit.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I find Dennis Quaid dreamy.
He's so dreamy. I get it.
I would totally be into that, yeah.
And then for Joker, Robin Williams lobbied super hard.
Yeah, he would have been good too.
And he would have been super good, I'm sure. And then here's another one. There's a couple here where I was like, yeah, Tim Curry.
Oh, Jesus
Tim
Christ.
Curry would have nailed it.
He would have fucking nailed it. He's so good. And he's really the only good part of the TV movie, It.
Yes.
But his clown is fucking terrifying.
He was so fucking good. When you put Tim Curry in the right part, I mean, he makes every part special, but but a part like that, oh, he would have been so good. But by the way, we're not shitting on Nicholson. He's legit great.
No, we told you how great he is.
Yeah. David Bowie.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. John Lithgow. I'm like,
Lithgow.
Yeah. I'm like, Ray Liotta. I'm like, I don't see that one.
He's not funny, though.
No. And then this one, I'm like, this guy's a fucking creep in real life. James Woods.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. That would have been good.
Fuck James Woods. Oh, speaking of James Woods, Sean Young really wanted to be Vicki Vale. And apparently...
She was hired.
And she was hired and then hurt herself.
On horse.
On horse.
Collarbone.
Yeah, so she lost out. And then she lobbied, like, real hard for Catwoman.
Do you remember when she went on the Joan Rivers show dressed as Catwoman? And it's like, come on, give me an audition. I'm like, oh, honey, you just just snuffed out your career.
Yeah, it was real sad, too, because I'm like, Sean Young was really talented.
Oh, she would have been good.
Yeah.
She would have been really good. I mean,
what's funny is she does shit like that. And I was like, now we celebrate people like Jared Leto for doing shit like that. I'm like, Sean Young, you're just ahead of your time.
She was. You're right.
Let's see who else. Blah, blah, blah. Oh no, we already talked about all that. Okay, that's all my who could have been cast stuff. Do you want to hear some other 1989 movies?
Of course I do.
Okay, Major League.
Great movie.
Yep, it's on our list. We have an episode floating around out there somewhere, but we're gonna redo it because fuck that episode. I'll just say that.
Oh, did you did that with, okay, yeah.
Yeah, me and you need to do an episode.
Yeah.
Okay, there are two movies that came out in 1989 that are about cops and their dog partners. One is K-9 with Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi and the...
and a dog named Jerry Lee.
Yep.
And then Turner and Hooch.
Fucking love Turner and Hooch. Turner and Hooch destroyed me, just to warn y'all.
I can't even watch these movies. I saw them, by the way, in the theater. I will never watch either of them again because I cannot make it through movies in which animals are in jeopardy. Can watch a million disaster movies with my kid in which hundreds of thousands of people die.
Oh, no.
But cannot watch a movie in which a dog is put in jeopardy.
I was watching Game of Thrones with my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and at one point a dragon is like breathing fire, and I'm yelling, "The horses!" Because there's all these horses, and my mom's like, "He's burning up all the people. Like, what do you
I'm
even
like, I
like?
don't care about them. Fuck
I
those
don't give a
people.
shit about them. I worry about the horses."
Dude, I fucking cried when one of the dragons died.
Yes.
I'm a total puss. I admit this freely. I barely made it through the second episode of Under the Banner of Heaven because I was like, 2 times they kill a dog in it. I was like, what the fuck? Give me a trigger warning, assholes. Anyway, other movies. Sorry, everybody.
We're on Tangent City today.
Somebody's drinking. Okay, Vampire's Kiss. Did you see that one?
Is that Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
He eats a bug.
He does. He's fucking crazy. He is very Nicolas Cage in this movie, and it's very entertaining. This played at my theater, and people loved it. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It's for kids.
It is for kids, and Rick Moranis is in it, and
he's a delight.
we,
I mean,
we love a Rick Moranis thing here.
they have a show, excuse me, on Disney Plus, and it's sort of like they go back in their archives and they find different props from different films and they bring the actors back and they talk about the scenes. And then the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, there's some giant thing. I don't know if it's a bug or something,
Oh,
but it was in somebody's backyard, and like it was like a hippie family, like they put plants all over it and stuff.
oh my
And they brought
gosh.
these kids out. They're grown-ups now.
Yeah,
And it was really nice to see. They're like, yeah, people recognize me, and it's always really nice. It was a nice family movie. It was
absolutely. And it made a shit ton of money, and they made a whole bunch more of them.
It just said we don't see more of Rick Moranis because he was really good.
He's so good. Weekend at Bernie's. Sorry.
You know what? I'm a defender of Weekend at Bernie's. That shit made me laugh.
I don't think I've seen it since the theater, believe it or not. But it played at my theater, and
It played for like a year, I'm sure.
it played for a long time. That movie was a slow burn. Like, it was a slow Bernie. It did not. It wasn't like so huge at the box office, but it made like consistent money.
I think enough people just said to people, you really do need to see it. I thought it was very funny. The second one's not very good, but the first one was really funny.
Sea of Love.
That's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And
Ellen Barkin.
Ellen Barkin. Fuck it. Yes.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good thriller. It's a pretty
Sexy
good
thriller.
Sexy thriller.
We like our sexy thrillers.
We do. The Fabulous Baker Boys.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Hot. Such a
Jeff
good movie.
Bridges.
Hot. Such a
Bo
good
Bridges.
movie.
Fair.
Bo Bridges is in it too.
Oh, Bo.
Oh, poor Bo Bridges. This is a movie you put on our list, but we haven't done it yet. Immediate Family.
It's a movie, especially what's happening right now.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe not right now.
Yeah. Let's actually hold off on that.
But it's a movie.
Yeah, it's a thing that to watch.
And this last one is definitely on our list, and we'll get to it someday. Steel Magnolias.
We did a book versus movie for one of my other podcasts, and that movie holds up. It's very enjoyable. It's very watchable.
Yes, it is 100% watchable. And Shirley MacLaine and Olympia Dukakis in that movie. They're so great.
They're a goddamn treasure. Dolly Parton's in there, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. We should we'll do that movie soon. We'll put it on the list. We'll bump it up to show some love for Dolly.
Well, she just got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she did.
Do you want to hear what the top 10 songs, June 24th, 1989?
Yes.
This is when the movie came out. Okay, I had to look this up. Cry by Waterfront.
Wait.
Okay.
You make me wanna cry.
No, that's something else.
Okay. No, then I don't know it.
It's the most forgettable pop song from the 80s, and it's about a guy that's breaking up with his 16-year-old girlfriend.
Ew, what a creep.
Yeah. Natalie Cole, Miss You Like Crazy.
Oh, yes. I know that one.
Bobby Brown, Every Little Step. Great fucking song.
Oh, my God. I was all in on Bobby Brown back in the day.
Donner Summer, This time I know it's for real.
She had a whole like career resurgence.
Easy listening, y'all.
Yep.
That was a lot of easy listening. Bette Midler, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Okay, Beaches played at my theater. I had to listen to that song like fucking 5 times a day. I'm like, ugh.
I have to say, I really love that movie.
It's a total tearjerker. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. That movie.
It does what it's supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's super watchable. I get it, but I did not want to hear that song anymore.
No, it's the worst one. There's much better ones. Fine Young Cannibals, Good Thing. You could not escape that fucking song.
Nope.
Milli Vanilli, baby, don't forget
my number.
Here's a good one. Nana Cherry, Buffalo Stance.
Love that song.
Goddamn great song. New Kids on the Block. I'll be loving you forever.
Oh my! The New Kids on the Block were like right after my time. So like my sister was into. She was all in on New Kids on the Block. Like
I was working at the mall.
Yeah, she wanted to be hanging tough. I get it.
I get it. They're cute.
Yeah.
And number one, Richard Mark, Satisfied.
I still love that song.
I still love Richard Mark. So yeah. But it was a very easy listening time. Let's just say that.
That's some Coit 96.1 FM shit right there.
Those were the top 10 songs. Those are the pop songs.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
What else are you dorking out about?
I slept in way late today because I was up till 2:30 last night watching HBO's The Staircase.
I watched the first one last night.
I watched the first 3, and then I went back to Netflix to watch the 2007 documentary.
Yes.
And then I was looking for the one that was before that documentary.
Yes.
It's really good. Did you get to the episode where she falls down the stairs? It's like, I think it's the second one.
No, I only watched the first one, but I have seen all of the documentaries.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think he did it?
Yeah, I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
I totally do. I think they somehow sold it like their family was this quirky, loving, like my family, like a quirky, loving group, but actually there's a lot of dysfunction going on. And I think I bet there's like a woman that was Parker Posey plays the DA. Do you remember Frida?
I did not know that Parker Posey was going to be in this. And then I saw her name in the credits and I was like, what?
Yeah, she plays the DA. She assisted DA, and she wore so much makeup because this was on Court TV at the time. It was a Toni Collette.
Yeah. First of all, we have talked about this at great length here. I fucking love Toni Collette. I think she's the shit in every single thing she does. I have a shirt that I bought from my favorite place, Super Yaki, and all it says is "Nominate Toni Collette, you cowards."
Yes.
I'm like, nominate
everything.
Toni Collette, you cowards, for everything. She's always so good.
The first
go
3
ahead.
episodes are up, and I was someone, I absorbed both of those documentaries, like the one from the early and then the one from the later from Netflix. 13 hours or something ridiculous like that. He is such a nutball. Michael Peterson, his wife.
That's the clinical term, by the way, nutball.
Yeah, he's a nutball. He is. I mean, he's someone who's like a chronic liar. Like he has all these. He said he got wounded, he had Purple Hearts in Vietnam and all this stuff. And he's saying that his wife. And we always try to say things like just people behave strangely doesn't mean they're guilty.
Correct.
You know, but. Oh boy, yeah, his wife fell down a flight of stairs, and people are saying it's too much blood. And I think in the second episode they show you, I guess, their version of that. Like, how would she fall down by herself and hurt herself? And it's like Toni Collette. You're like, no, Toni Collette, you have to live forever. We can't lose you. But there's a scene where she's walking and you hear an owl hooting. So I'm like, they're going to do an owl thing.
Oh my God, they're going to do the owl thing. If you don't know what the owl thing is, please go watch the documentaries, because there is this batshit crazy theory that somehow an owl got into the house and attacked her. And got out of the house without leaving any feathers. and it ripped up her skull and knocked her down the stairs, like owls do.
I'm scared of owls anyway, so I would be like,
who's the murderer?
I can't top that. That's too fucking good.
I fucking love The Staircase, and I'm excited. Like, I'm excited that you watched all 3. I wish I could have stayed up that late. I couldn't make it happen.
I couldn't stop. I was watching it's all creepy night last night. It was like Under the Banner of Heaven. First, I started with Below Deck Down Under. Please, people, you need to watch this.
You should have ended with that. You end with Below Deck Down Under.
I know. I started with the captain. He's Australian, and he's like shirtless and like taking care of the boat. Ridiculous. And everybody else was getting drunk following the crocodiles. Anyway, so I went to that, to Under the Banner of Heaven, which is really good. But wow, was that a dark tale?
It's super dark.
It's Hyatt. Is that it? No, Wyatt. Russell. Right.
Oh, yes.
He's really good.
Yeah. It's a tough story. It's a tough one. But it's really good. But in that, is it the second or third episode? Like I mentioned before, I'm like, there's like 2 instances where dogs are killed, and I was like, I was like, could I get a trigger warning? I feel like this should have been a trigger warning.
They warn you about smoking, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I'm like I don't need to be warned about smoking, but I do need to be warned if I'm gonna get one of those like hurt doggy noises.
Just a real quick flash of a doggy with a frown face.
Yeah, just something like,
and then I know leave the room for like 5 seconds.
I need to be like rated TV MA for like nudity, smoking, and hurt doggy noise. Like, I can't handle hurt doggy noise. It's like a punch in the gut every time I hear it.
Upsetting.
I get real upset. Like, they would warn me if like something was going to happen to a kid. So please warn me if something happens to a dog too.
Yes.
That's
agreed.
So I wanted to say about The Staircase documentaries were, I think, one of the first times where I realized that I was all in on like true crime shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it elevated it.
Yeah, because I was definitely like an Unsolved Mysteries Dateline 2020
TV movie of the week.
Yeah, like I like that shit. I definitely liked it, but I guess you said it right when you said it elevated it. Like it there was this, like, I mean, it was like 7 parts or something. It was insanely long. And I recorded like on my TiVo every episode TiVo of The Staircase and watched it again when like the new episodes came out. And
my dad watched the trial every day. Wow. He was retired, and he was really into it. My dad was convinced he didn't do it, and I was convinced he did.
That is fascinating to me.
Yeah,
I feel like it's so obvious, but I don't know. Maybe this miniseries will change my mind, but I doubt it. You never know.
Colin Firth plays him and does a really great job. And
he's always so good.
And the cat, like the sisters, the daughters, then oh my God, everybody's really good. It's totally worth it. HBO Max is like killing it.
They are killing it.
Julia was great. They just had their season finale. Batman's on there. Like it's
well, I mean, this Batman. 1989's actually
there's several Batmans on there.
I think almost all of the Batmans might be on there.
And there's a Joker special. I just started watching it. I'm going to finish it.
I will check it out. I just want to say I continue to watch my disaster movies with Calvin. He finally watched Sharknado. He giggled his ass off. He really enjoyed it. If you're curious, like, where I'm usually tweeting these things, you can follow our adventures on Twitter. It's like hashtag like movies with Calvin. And we watch disaster movies, and I tend to tweet out things he's saying, where he's like, this time it was, I'm glad that's not real. That would be really scary. Good insights. I also saw The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. Tatum.
Tatum Tanning?
I don't know. I always flip-flop his name.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
That guy. You know, the dude from Magic Mike. He's in it. Is it
good?
It's fine. I'm just going to say that. I was like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, I should go home and watch Romancing the Stone, which is like a perfect movie.
Right. I saw a review of it on I think it played at the South by
Oh, yeah?
Southwest.
Okay.
And there was somebody that tweeted out, goes, "This is what it's like to see movie stars on a big screen." I'm like, okay, you're really young and you've been home way too much lately,
Yeah,
because
so
this is not.
it's basically Romancing the Stone, which is fine. Like, I'm fine with that. And here's the thing. Sandra Bullock and what's-his-face have no chemistry whatsoever. And it's not because I don't like them. I like both of them. I love Sandra Bullock. So Brad Pitt is in the movie for a little while. That's not a spoiler. It's in the trailers. He's really fucking funny. Really, really, really funny in his part. And I'm like, if he had switched parts with other dude, this would have been a way better movie. Like, she has a ton of chemistry with Brad Pitt. And it just would have been way more fun, I think. But
Okay.
it's fine. Like, if it was on HBO Max right now, I'd be like, sure, you could watch it. And like, Sandra Bullock is really good at like romantic comedies. And
No, she's very good.
And she's wearing like a sequin jumpsuit and she's walking around in the jungle and she's being Sandra Bullock. What's not to like? It's just not as good as I hoped it would be.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So once again, fine. It's fine. It's no The Staircase.
No, The Staircase is just, you just go down rabbit holes with that one, because there's just all these different places it goes, because he's bisexual, it turns out.
Yes.
So then there's the guy that one of his paramours was put on trial, and they're just asking, like, what do you do for a client? He goes, well, anything they want, really.
Yeah.
He's no shame. Like, he's not embarrassed.
No shame in his game.
No, exactly. That's how I make my money. And Frida, the over, spatulaed face, DA, like, do you have sex with them? Do you have cunnilingus? Do you have analingus with them?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious that because some of it was, well,
homophobic.
Yes. And like, he cheats on her with men, therefore
he's guilty of killing her.
Yeah. And it's like, well, that's not why. Like,
No, but it's the time.
Yeah, for sure. But
and there's people who feel that way now.
They do. Absolutely. I'm going to keep watching though. I can't wait.
Yep.
It's not to watch with my kid, and I have my kid this weekend, therefore I can only squeeze in one episode. I have Sharknado to watch. Sorry, everybody.
No, I was just up late. I couldn't stop watching
No,
it.
because it's good. But
it's really good, but it throws me off. The next day I get up and it's like I'm so exhausted, but also freaked out from what I saw. Yeah.
Also be very careful when you're walking down the stairs, please.
Yes, please.
Both of us.
Yeah.
This was fun. I am so glad that we finally did Batman. This has been a long time coming. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me at Brooklyn Fit Chick. That's for Twitter and Instagram. And my site is brooklynfitchick.com. And I'm also on the TikTok.
Yes, you
at
are.
Margo Donahue. Yep.
And if you like the sound of our voices, we do another podcast called What a Creep, where we talk about creeps of the past and present. And we end every episode with someone who's not a creep, so you don't think the world is a whole dumpster fire. And you can find that at whatacreeppodcast.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram, and Dorking Out Show at dorkingout.show.com. And we got some reviews. I'm going to look it up right this second. Sorry, everybody, because we got reviews for Dorking Out, and I said if you gave us reviews, I would give you a shout out. So I'm going to get it right now, and you're listening to my voice. Okay. Here it is. Lena Lady gave us 5 stars. Thank you, Lena Lady. She said, just perfect. We got a Boneno 913 gave us a good review. Thank you. We appreciate that. It really offsets the 1 stars we get for I don't like lady voices.
Margo breathes too hard.
If she could stop breathing, that would be
cackling.
Great. Those people. Anyway, this was super fun. I'm glad that we got to talk about Batman and all the other Batmans too. And just remember, there is a Batman out there for all of us.
And remember that Cesar Romero story.